Previously on Jason and Melissa Travel, our Scotland adventure began with a 4-day visit to our friend's home just outside of Glasgow. They took us to see some amazing historical monuments and tour the seaside town of St. Andrews, which is home to the oldest golf course in the world. After leaving our friends, we spent a whirlwind 24 hours in Oban, where Jason got to visit one of his favorite whiskey distilleries. Now we arrive on the Isle of Skye, and let me tell you, this place totally lives up to the hype.
Good morning. Today is our first day getting out and exploring the Isle of Skye. For day one, we tried to kind of do things in certain areas so just to minimize some of our driving time. So today we're going to drive up near the town of Uig and we're going to go to the fairy Glen, which has some fairy mythology tied to it, but really the reason we're going is because it is a very unique landscape. So we're going to go check this out. It's got a bunch of like little fairy hills that were basically they were just landslides during glacial period. So we're going to do that, and then I think we're going to head over to Dunvegan Castle and then up to Coral Beach, and then from there we may go over to Neist Point. I'm not sure what we're going to do exactly, but looking forward to exploring today. I know Melissa, she's got her proper hiking attitude on, right?
Yeah, I sure do.
So we're going to make our way over to the fairy Glen.
Hey, you bad boys.
Located just south of the village of Uig is the Fairy Glen. This area is over 100,000 years old, and some still believe that little evil fairies have called this magical place home since prehistoric times. This magnificent feature is dotted with gnarled rowan trees and was formed by post-glacial landslides, which resulted in the unique landscape that can be seen today. A little side note, the rock spiral patterns created by visitors are seen as vandalism and is highly discouraged. So please do not add to the spirals when visiting this beautiful area.
These little hills don't even look real. It looks, I don't know, like it looks like so mystical and yet rugged, and like somebody put all of these piles here, but it happened naturally. It's so cool. We left the Fairy Glen and we are headed to the Dunvegan Castle, and we are actually in the town of Dunvegan at this cute little waterside bistro, and I decided to try something very traditional, so traditional that it is the Scottish national meal, which is haggis, tatties, and neeps. So tatties are simply just mashed potatoes, but the neeps are the Scottish word for Swedes or a yellow turnip. They've been boiled and mashed. Now the haggis, I gotta read this. So haggis is a pudding that is composed of the liver, the heart, and lungs of a sheep, minced and mixed with beef or mutton suet, and oatmeal, and seasoned with onion, cayenne pepper, and other spices. All right, so, and then it is packed into a sheep's stomach and then boiled and then served. I actually really like it, but I like things like liver. But the oats, it's kind of like a meat oatmeal. I know that doesn't sound very appetizing, but it's actually really, really good. And it comes with some whiskey cream sauce that, of course, I'll pour over it, but I like haggis. It's good. If you have watched any of our previous videos, you will have picked up that I am a science teacher, but I am also an obscene lover of all things history. And coming out to Scotland, one of the things that I really, really looked forward to was all the castles. So this is official castle number 1, Dunvegan Castle, and I know Melissa is excited. But this castle is definitely known not just for the castle, but for its gardens.
Dunvegan Castle has been the stronghold for the MacLeod clan for nearly a millennia. Dunvegan is the only Highland castle to be continuously occupied by the same family for 800 years. Built in several different stages, the castle has been very well preserved and has undergone years of restoration, making this one of the must-see castles in the Highlands. Please enjoy this very uninformative and completely cheesy personalized tour of the castle by Melissa.
Welcome to my humble abode. It's my bedroom. It's my bedpan. Because I like luxury. The view from my dining room. My very plush otter. Where I write all my letters to my common folk friends. My library. Where I take my tea and play my games. This is my dungeon, where I lock Jason up when he's very naughty.
So it's finally sandwich time, and I think we found a pretty good spot. This is our first like actual little single track with the little passing pullouts, and it seems like the road just keeps getting a little more narrow and more narrow as we go. Okay, so right now Melissa is panicking because there are potholes that would easily swallow the car. You just saw the roads that they have here in Scotland. To say that they are narrow at some points is a major understatement. Melissa has been doing a great job.
Friends, Mr. Toad's Wild Ride in Scotland.
These roads are narrow. There was a 16% grade. For those of you who know percents and grades, that is a steep, steep road. And I think this one back here that wasn't labeled, I think it was even steeper than that. But they don't leave a whole lot of room for error. I know, I'm laughing because there's a little set of stairs right in front of me, and normally there's like a safety rail or something to prevent you from tumbling to your doom, but there's no safety rail here, and it's straight up wigging me out. Check this out. It is a long way down, and I think I'm gonna get away from this edge before I fall. So why didn't you go out on the rail with me, Melissa?
Oh no, Melissa doesn't do heights, remember? There's a handrail here, so I'll do this one.
Neist Point is one of the most famous lighthouses in Scotland for good reason. It's freaking spectacular. This photogenic location is situated on the most westerly tip of the Isle of Skye. The lighthouse was engineered by David A. Stevenson, and the light was first lit in November of 1909. Although we didn't get to see any, this point is known to be a great place to watch whales, dolphins, porpoises, and basking sharks from the cliffs above the bay.
We had originally planned to go to Coral Beach after we finished up at Dunvegan Castle, but we were kind of running out of time. Lunch took a little bit longer than we had planned, but that's always okay. So we decided to come over to Neist Lighthouse Point, and I am really glad we did. This place is beautiful. So the drive-in was definitely extremely narrow. Melissa did an excellent job.
Yes, Melissa did.
Melissa did an excellent job driving. Definitely got the blood pumping, and
I didn't even fall off the road once.
What?
I didn't even fall off the road once.
No, but man, are we close sometimes. But this place is absolutely incredible.
Of course, I make a friend everywhere I go. And I had a little hiking buddy with me while I was going up to the top. Was totally showing me how to climb properly because they are not afraid of heights, unlike me. Coming up next, Jason and I continue exploring the Isle of Skye, and I get to do more of my absolute favorite activity, hiking up mountains. The views from the top of Old Man of Store were pretty spectacular, so I'm glad I agreed to this one.
Thank you all for joining us on official day one here in Isle of Skye. We've got big things planned for tomorrow. We want to thank you all for watching. We had an absolute blast running around today. I would have to say that the Neist Point and the Dunvegan Castle were
amazing. That was spectacular.
Yeah, go if you're ever here, go do it. It was amazing. Walking out onto that point by the lighthouse, those views were, man, they'll stick with you for sure. If we missed anything over in that area and you are from here or you've been here, please leave the recommendation down in the comments. We would love to read them, or just leave them for future travelers coming through here. Please hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. It really helps us out so that you don't miss any of our upcoming travels as we make our way through the Highlands of Scotland. Jason and Melissa Travel are
on to the next one, on to the next one, on to the next one, on to the next one.
If you don't know what that was, we just went over the Skye Bridge, or the Bridge of Skye. I don't know. I'll have to look it up. I'm not going to use this footage.
You're being a ball bag, Yates.
Don't be such a wanker and a twat.